statement. "And how have you become wed?" Mr. Kane asked from my side. He too was curious, as were the women who were whispering to each other. Besides a surprised look or two, the men were more reserved in their emotions. Had a woman come claiming to be a bride before? I was seen to by my brother, Cecil Montgomery. "Ah, yes, Montgomery, a very good officer," the shorter McPherson replied, stepping back. "Well, you're quite fetching. I have claimed a wife already." A lovely woman with dark hair came down the steps to join him. Clearly she was his wife, and making that known. He wrapped an arm around her waist and kissed her forehead, but he gave me a wink. "That leaves me, lass." I turned to look at the man who made my heart beat quickly. "I am Dashiell McPherson." While the married McPherson was quite attractive, it was the one before me now who had my breath quickening, my palms sweating beneath my gloves, and butterflies taking flight in my belly. His hair was a dark blonde, cut short on the sides and longer on the top while it fell over his forehead. His piercing ice-blue eyes held mine, and I felt like a bug pinned to a tray. "Perhaps you can explain yourself, for I most certainly would have remembered a wedding night with you." Dash. I hadn't expected to become a married man over lunch. This woman was no small slip of a thing. She sat as if she had a fence post for her spine. Her dress a dark green that set off her dark hair, and with her pale skin and lush curves, she was very fetching. Oh, she was beautiful. It was her eyes, though. Even beneath the wide brim of her hat that spoke words she didn't. She was afraid. Yet the resolute tilt of her chin belied her bravery to ride up and claim a groom. Her accent was of a well-educated, high-born Englishwoman. At my more crudeness, her only outward reaction was a slight narrowing of her eyes. "Where is your brother?" We all liked the man well enough to write and invite him to join us here at Bridgewater. He hadn't been part of our commanding officer's deceitful and deadly acts, and had been able to return to England and his life without being stripped of rank or of character. We'd hoped he would join us, and it appeared he was following through with that very intention, but we didn't know he would bring a sister along. Her chin tipped up even further. "He is dead." Her words were clear and did not hold a hint of mourning. Montgomery was dead? She was much younger than her brother, perhaps by 15 years or more, and had it been mentioned during our time in Montgomery, she would have been a child then, perhaps from her second marriage for one of his parents and tucked safely away in the nursery. "Ah, lass, you came here all this way on your own." The very idea set my teeth on edge. "Not the entire journey." She shook her head. "He died in Chicago." "How?" "He fell from his horse. It was nothing at first," she explained. "He laughed it off as if he was not one to be injured upon a horse. A day later he became feverish and unwell. The signs of some internal damage were obvious, and he knew of his demise." She looked down at her gloved hands holding the reins, then lifted her gaze to mine. We were not close, but he felt some protectiveness towards me, for he'd taken me from England with him. Once he knew he was dying, he didn't wish to leave me alone without some kind of security. Therefore, in the short time he had remaining, he wed me to you. A proxy marriage." "And you consented?" My choices were limited," she replied. "Limited or none at all? Did you have a chaperone for the remainder of the journey?" She looked as if I'd questioned whether the sun set in the west. "Of course I had a chaperone. Mrs. Tisdale, a woman from Chicago, escorted me the length of the journey until we descended the stage in town. She would have joined me for the final leg to Bridgewater Ranch, but she didn't wish to remain in such a barren environment, and was on the stage east at dawn this morning, observing the vast expanse of land that was part of Bridgewater. As far as the eye could see, the woman's reasoning was valid. It was barren. It was one of the reasons the location was chosen by my regimental friends who settled the land originally. Its remoteness. That was fine for the group of us wishing to remain hidden, but it wasn't for everyone. She was told there would not be another stage for nearly a week and had no intention of missing it. I could see the woman all but running after the stage to take her away from here. City folk didn't last long in the Montana Territory. As for Miss Montgomery, no. It seemed she was Mrs. McPherson now. Time would only tell if she was able to live in such a foreign land. Her voice had the clipped accent of a well-educated English lady. The way she kept her voice even and almost demure validated that guess. Society life in London was as different to Montana as was chalk and cheese. "You did not wish to return with her?" She sniffed. "I'm not as skittish as Mrs. Tisdale."